everyone, it's Maria, and today I wanted to talk to you about the big book that I just finished, as well as the books that I am hoping to finish this year, and maybe my plan to do that. About 2 years ago, I think it's been, I did a booktube video called I'm Scared of Big Books and I Cannot Lie, and that is one of my highest rated watched videos, which I think is great because it means that I'm probably not the only one. So many times on BookTube, I look at all these people reading these huge, massive books, and I just get a little scared, which is funny because maybe not this year, but most years I am able to read a lot. This year was kind of different, but my friends are always laughing at me because I could read 15 to 20 books in a month, but all of them were probably around 250 to 370, 380 pages. Once it approaches 400, unless I'm really excited about it, I'm not going to pick it up. But 500 pages is a very rare pickup for me. I don't know if it's because I like having several books going at once, and so that one extra book drags me down. I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm never going to finish it, or it takes a while for me to get into it. I don't know if it's because I like variety. I just know that big books have traditionally been difficult for me to tackle. Now, I have been working on trying to get better. Last year, I made it one of my goals. I succeeded a little bit. Last year, I decided I was going to pick out 12 big books, one for every month, and I was going to read a big book every month. I probably did 8 books over the course of the year that were over 500 pages, which is probably, I guess, still better than before. I still didn't reach my 12 a year goal, which I'm okay with. I'm really okay with that. However, there are some really great big books that have been on my TBR for a very, very long time. And it's stupid that I haven't finished them, let alone started a few of them. Some of them I've started several times. I've tried audio. I've tried doing ebook because it's less to cart around. I've tried purchasing all the books. It's just when it comes to finishing it that I have a hard time. So first up, I wanted to tell you about the big book that I finally finished, Roots by Alex Haley. This book has been on my TBR for probably about 3-4 years at least, officially. I've always been interested in the story of roots. Slavery and racial justice has been an interest of mine for a very long time, and so I knew it was something I definitely wanted to tackle. I also know that there is a very good, at least one, maybe 2, I haven't heard as many reviews on the second one, miniseries about roots. Now, because of my personal convictions, I have been unwilling to watch the miniseries because I didn't read the book first. Book reading problems, am I right? So I have been holding off on it and holding off on it and holding off on it. I checked it out from the library several times and I just couldn't pick it up. So I decided to do something different. I downloaded the audiobook from the library on Hoopla and I started listening. And it is 30 hours long if you listen at regular speed. I think I got it up to the highest I listened to was 1.75, which was a little bit fast, but still doable. There are a few drier parts in there that I think I was glad it was at 1.75 for. The narrator was phenomenal, and I'll probably mark in the comments the narrator's name, as he did a great job on the characters. So the story of Roots, for those of you who might be unfamiliar, is a story of 200 years of a family's lineage from Africa all the way into the early 1900s. Well, not early 1900s, I guess goes later than that because Alex Haley talks about it. Now, there is some controversy whether or not Alex Haley did the research that he claims to have done in the book. So some people say it's historical fiction. Some people say it's nonfiction. Honestly, I don't think that is the point of the book. The point of the book is that slavery was awful. It had consequences that lasted for generations upon generations. So many people lost their own heritage and their own stories and their own identity because of slavery. And there are ties across the continents from North America to Africa between families that have forever been severed, and several people are not ever going to be able to find out where they came from. The book did a great job at showing the importance of those stories continuing on, and how much reading and writing are a power to you. If you don't have it, you are at a disadvantage. And it talks a lot about how white people used the lack of reading and writing, or even the fear of learning to read and write, to control people and to disable their slaves from being able to know who they were and to be able to retain some sense of self. They talk about the idea of a name is very important in Roots, because Kunta Kinte keeps his name. They try to name him Toby, and he says, that's not my name. And he sticks up for himself, which, because of his master, he's able to do in the story. I don't think that's plausible for all situations. I was surprised, because while they did have some very graphic parts to it, there were parts that seemed less horrific, which I guess I was really glad for, because it meant that some of it I could listen to around my kids. I was careful. My husband actually also listened to it on audio. He finished before I did, because he's in the car more than I am, especially without kids. So he also really enjoyed it, and maybe we'll do a video on here where we both talk about it. That'd be kind of fun. But Roots as a story was a great long read, especially to do on audio. And it gave me the idea that if I enjoyed this on audio, I did check out the library book for a little bit so I could read some of it through on paper if I wanted to. I actually didn't, because I love the audiobook so much. I didn't kind of want to cheat on the narrator. That sounds weird, but he just did such a good job. It made me think how many other books that I really want to do that maybe I could listen to on audio and speed up a little bit. And then if I get to a part where I want to focus more, I can pull out the hard cover book or the regular book. So anyway, that is kind of my review on Roots, as well as, if you really need to read it, but I would listen to it instead of read it, because the audio book was phenomenal. I'm very excited about watching the miniseries. I could go on and on. It's going to be probably one of the best reads of the year. So these are the books that I am planning on reading until December. I have, obviously, I'll pepper some other ones through, but first up, I want to do this one in November. I wanted to do it last November and the November before that. My husband also has read it, because he listens to he doesn't get nervous about length of books. So when I say, oh, I really want to read that, or I think you'd enjoy it, he does pick them up, and he doesn't get scared by the length. So this is Stephen King's 11/22/63. It's an alternate history of the JFK assassination. Everybody that I have heard has read this, has loved it. I know it is also good on audio, because I think my pastor, who's one of my close friends, he's listened to it several times on audio, which I think says a lot considering the length of that sucker. Next up, which I may or may not get to, I'm hoping to do in October, is Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. We are going to go see Hamilton in October with our boys. It was their birthday present, and I'm super excited to get to take them there. So I thought it would be a good time to read through this one, despite its length. And hopefully, yeah, I'll get it on audio, and that'll help a little bit. This one has been probably on my TBR, maybe the second longest of this. Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin. I love Abraham Lincoln, but this book is so big. I get so nervous about it. I want to read this one this month, because we are going to be going to DC, and we get to see Ford Theater, and I think it would be a great time to read this one while I'm kind of in a Lincoln-y mood. Again, I know it's available on audio. It's huge. I have this on ebook as well, so maybe I can flip between mediums. I need to just do it. This is ridiculous. I need to do this. So next up, I have been reading one of these a year, although I feel like maybe I did the second one this year already. This is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. My mom is obsessed with the Outlander series. She actually went to Comic-Con this past, or WizardCon, I don't remember, some con this past weekend so she could see some of the actors. She has been on the Outlander cruise where she got to talk with the author. She follows all of her Twitter accounts. I mean, like, she's legit. I love seeing my mom fangirl about stuff. So I will be reading the third one because I've been reading it, watching the season, reading it, watching a season. So I am going to be reading Voyager. I am really enjoying this, but I'm trying to pace myself because the series, I hate it when I have to wait for things. I'm kind of impatient like that. Next up, this one's been on my TBR the longest. This is Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This is my husband's favorite book. Seriously, why have I not read my husband's favorite book? I'm like the worst wife on the planet. But I know I can definitely get this on audio, and I know it's a good story. It's about two brothers. I feel like obviously it's the Brothers Karamazov. Anyway, I need to do better for my husband because I adore him. So those are the long books that I am planning on getting to this year. Maybe I'll even do Count of Monte Cristo because I've started that several times and haven't finished it. This is going to be my year. It will. I've got September, October, November, December, 4 months. I've got 4 months. I'm going to pull this out. It's going to be amazing. I hope. I also plan on doing some Shake Tube with Steve Donahue and Chapters of Verse and that crew. So I'll be doing some of the Shakespeare plays. And I know Emily Cook is planning on doing a Schusterman month in September. And I have been going through Neal Shusterman like candy. So I will be upping my Neal Shusterman reading as well. So that is my plan for, I guess, September and the rest of the year. We'll see how I do. Are there big books that like you have been terrified of reading or you keep wanting to pick up and then you just don't? Do you have strategies for reading big books? Again, this is my call out for those big book readers who, or maybe the ones, not even the ones that like big books, the ones that got over their fear of big books and moved on to loving them, because I really do enjoy them once I get through them. It's just the initial and the middle sections that are unnerving. I'll talk to you later. Bye.